Today is Friday, July 20th. We're in Salzburg and we're getting ready to head off for Holy Mass and a walking tour of the city. Yep, this hotel that we're staying in here is really nice. I hear that they have a rooftop bar where they serve their breakfast. But today is Friday, so we have to behave ourselves because it's a penitential day. You know, being a pilgrim sometimes has its benefits. It really does. I mean, there's just been so many blessings along this pilgrimage. There are too many to even count. So here we have it. We're ready to start our pilgrimage here in Salzburg. I go to take the elevator upstairs. I press the thing. Elevator stops. There's two people in the elevator. I said, going down? They go, yeah, okay, well, I have to go up. I wait. The elevator returns. They're still in the elevator. Up for us a mighty Savior, born of the house of his servant David. Now after the elevator incident, I do get up to the place where they're serving breakfast. I go in, and I'm just going to get a quick cup of coffee. I press the button. I really wish I had the camera with me at that moment because it would have made for some really interesting, but anyhow, I press the button and it's cappuccino. It just keeps running and running and running. I mean, literally like it just, so I call the girl over. She comes over. She says, oh no, you have to set the things. She starts a second one going on the right setting and it still is overflowing. So now this morning we're just leaving the hotel, and not too far away is a shrine called Maria Plain. It's where we're going to have our Mass, and then we'll return to the hotel and start a walking tour. Today it's Father Greg's turn to say the Mass. You all ready, Father?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we've arrived here at the base of the mount where Maria Plain Church is. Our bus driver, having learned his lesson, has dropped us off at the base, and we're going to walk up to the church. Okay, so we have to make our way up to this little mount here. There is a real temptation in going, climb it, but I'm not going to do it. Actually, I really do love that song, but I could never hit the high note. So we're making our way up the hill, certainly a penitential act on a Friday. Stopping here at the spot of Golgotha, the cross, meditating on the sacrifice that Jesus made for our salvation. And here I place all of your intentions at the foot of Jesus' cross. O blood and water which gush forth from the heart of Jesus as a font of mercy for us, I trust in you.
He's just absolutely not prepared to.
We just walked up this beautiful path above Salzburg to where we're going to have Mass. The mountains are just like awe-inspiring. The churches here are just absolutely amazing. The size, the enormity, and the craftsmanship.
So we've made our way here to Maria Plain Church. Father and I are going to head to the sacristy in a few moments and prepare to celebrate Holy Mass here.
Of Our Lady. And it's all started with a small one.
Okay, so Father and I have finally made our way to the sacristy, and we're preparing to celebrate the Holy Mass. We'll keep your intentions in our prayers today. So we just finished saying Holy Mass here at the Maria Plain Church in Salzburg. Okay, we were just standing here and the bells went off. I was about to say something and bam! So after Mass we came out here. As you can hear, the bells are ringing here. We ran into a group of young nuns from Rome. They're here on some sort of a sabbatical. They're the St. Peter Claver sisters, and their foundress used to come to this church on a regular basis. Many people think of Salzburg, they think of Sound of Music. However, Salzburg does have a much richer history. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who, when they think of the Camino, they just think of walking across maybe Spain, a little bit of France. Now here we are all the way in Austria, in Salzburg, and there are markings for going the way of St. James. Well, so I guess if you're really serious about doing a walking pilgrimage, I would say take the way of St. James with the path that comes from Salzburg all the way over to Santiago.
Up to 30 kilometers a day.
If you're good.
That's for example, so people are able to walk approximately 30
Yeah, I'm right. 30 kilometers.
No, Father, thank you for Holy Mass this morning.
Yeah, thank you. It's a beautiful place to say Mass, huh?
Okay, welcome to the city of Salzburg. My name is Karin Strauss. If you have any questions, then please ask me. You go in there dressed as a miner, then you have to take a train. In Prague, Salzburg, the greatest cities, and here we have 160,000 people. Like that.
So we've started our walking tour here, going through the gardens. There may be a lot of familiar images that you'll recognize from the movie Sound of Music.
In town we have had the Catholic chapter with 24 members of the chapter. That's part of our
So we're continuing to make our way around here. We just came out of the gardens. There's no shortage of churches around here either. Okay, the famous scientist Christian Doppler was born here in this city.
Locked together forever. That's the base story of these love locks. And so now, I don't know how many of these couples are still in love together.
As you can see in the city of Salzburg, there's a fortress up on the hill. You have a cathedral there.
200 figures. It's nearly the whole living room.
So as part of our walking tour now, we've made it here to the old part of the city.
Salzburger knockout, it's like a meringue, offering you as a pastry the three mountains what we have next to the city. And then it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, the meringue, so gorgeous, so huge, describing this pastry, sweet like love and soft like a kiss. Yeah. It's not made for cooking, it's only for salads.
Okay, we're going to have to try some pumpkin oil while we're here.
Amadeo. And this was his name, what he used as an artist.
Originally, but now it's like...
I think I'm going to pick up a bottle of water. It's a bit warm outside. This will be helpful. Okay, I got my water. We're ready to go. I'm guessing they have a serious emissions problem here. The Benedictine monastery up here.
Here we go now into the Benedictine monastery. Peter's Abbey, founded by Saint Rupert, and Saint Rupert, that's still the saint of our federal state of Salzburg.
She knows better than I do. So we're just making a brief stop here in St. Peter's Church where we said a quick prayer. Okay, we're going to be taking a funicular up to the mountain here to get up to the fortress. However, this group just jumped in before us. Well, we finally got into the funicular here, but it is jam-packed.
Groups now coming for their holidays.
Well, now I know what a sardine feels like. Right, so we're on top of the mount here in the fortress, overlooking the beautiful city of Salzburg. Absolutely gorgeous day for it. Luca. All right, so they gave us a little over an hour for lunch, so I just walked through and I found this Italian place. Got have myself a pizza. All right, I had myself a pretty good lunch, sat in the square, had a pizza. Now I'm just going to slip back into the church for a little bit and say some quiet prayers. Okay, first church I come into, they're cleaning it. Yeah, we stopped by here earlier and I said I want to come back and say a few prayers, so here we go. All right. I stopped here in the Church of St. Peter's. I said a couple of quick prayers. As always, I've included you and your intentions in my prayers. I just got to figure out when to push, when to pull, and where all these little steps are. They got little steps everywhere that you got to step over. Well, they picked Mozart's They picked Mozart's birth house as the place for us to meet. There's such huge crowds usually by the house. Wow, I can see the flag. Mozart's birthplace. It's one of the most crowded parts of the city. Okay, back up on the bus. We're going to take a transfer, go out to the palace. Okay, so we're about to do our tour of the palace here. It's probably the worst day to forget to bring my sunglasses. We're just discussing, it is hot today, right, Jim?
Yes, it is. It's the hottest day we've had so far.
You double it, subtract 10%, then add 32. So 31 is 62.
2.
Take off 6 is 56, add 32, 88. But I really could use my sunglasses. So in the spirit of pilgrimage, we have to walk down this real long corridor with the sun beating down on us.
Well, aside from the Holy Mass, which is awesome, there are some wooden rockers back there that are so comfortable.
Oh man, she ain't kidding. These chairs?
I said to Mr. Rob, can we buy one of these? They rock and they're very comfortable.
Can I get one of those chairs sent to my room?
Which ones?
Those wooden chairs back there.
Well, we can try to carry them, yeah.
Oh yeah, nobody will notice me walking out with one of those big chairs on my back. In the land where there were kings and queens and princes and all of these rich and famous people, Julie Andrews ranks the highest. Okay, so we're in the Helbrun Palace and we're on our way to the Trick Fountains. Okay, so to do this particular tour, we got linked with like all these other people. So there's like now 50 people in the group.
Kannst du übergehen oder sich doch noch ins Pferd setzen, bitte? So. Die zweite Sache ist hier diese ganz hinten kommen Sie doch bitte.
Okay, so the Prince Archbishop had put in this little park, if you will, and all around it there's all these little water attractions, and once you're inside, you're going to get wet. That's why I'm outside. See the smart people row.
And so when we go into a church and I'm overwhelmed by the jewels and the silver and the gold, it's like a sensory overload. All I have time to do is say, hey there, Our Lady, good to see you, pray for the daughters of Mary, bye-bye.
So our tour here at the Helbrun Palace has now come to a conclusion. It actually is a very beautiful place. It was a lot of fun to go in by the Trick Fountains. We're heading back to the hotel. We're going to go back and relax, get a nice dinner. Yeah, so pretty much everywhere we walked today, it was kind of like dusty and dirty. My shoes were just gross. So I need to find one of those little shoe shine machines. Okay, clean shoes, done. Here in this hotel, they have a nice little outdoor restaurant where we're going to have our dinner. I'm the first. I have new friends now. I'm not alone.
Oh God, that hurts.
I know, it's painful. It's getting tough. All right, so several of our folks are going to be going to a concert tonight. They're all decked out and ready to go.
Do you have your phone with